Have you ever wanted something so badly you would do anything to get it? This is the story of how I won the biggest dunk contest of the year, but it's also the story of how I almost destroyed my knee in the process. I was one jump away from a major injury and one jump away from the biggest win of my life, and I had to make a choice. In the weeks leading up to the Dunk Camp 2025 dunk contest, I was already injured. I was dealing with patellar tendon pain for the first time, and I'd kind of messed up my rehab. Not in a major way, but my knee was far from perfect. The Dunk Camp is a 4-day event, and the contest is always on the last day. So I jumped on Monday, the first day, and I thought it went pretty well. I warmed up slowly, did my isometrics to prepare the tendon, and felt confident in how I was treating my body. I had to jump for a while, hit a ton of crazy dunks, and kept my pain under a 3 out of 10. I thought I was in the clear, but I was wrong. In the following days, the pain in my knee was pretty bad. Tendon pain usually takes about a day to show up, and that's exactly what happened. I spent all of days 2 and 3 trying to heal as best as I could by doing isometrics like wall sits and minimizing any compressive load. And even though I was doing everything right, I still had no idea if I would even be able to compete on day 4. And this brings us to the day of the contest. I tried to warm up for a full hour before it started, but the pain was a moving target. One jump would feel fine, a 2 out of 10, so I'd increase my effort just a little bit, and a jolt of pain, a 4 out of 10, would shoot through my leg. So I had to pull back and lower my effort once again. Even before my first official dunk, I felt like I was already in a battle with my own body, and eventually the contest began. There are about 26 of us split into 2 groups. The top 3 from each group move to the finals, and you get 2 dunks in each round. For my first dunk, I did a really nice windmill. It didn't feel too bad. About a 3 out of 10 pain, which I thought was manageable. I felt a little bit of confidence return, and I thought that I could finish the contest. The competition in my group was high, so I knew I needed something big for my second dunk to secure a spot in the finals. I decided on a J-Rich East Bay, which is the most difficult dunk I can do with a high consistency. But as I planted my foot for the first attempt, I felt a sharp pain in my knee, and I messed up the dunk almost immediately, being blindsided by the pain. Now, another rule of the contest is you get 3 attempts or 2 minutes. That wasn't an official attempt because I didn't hit the rim, but I had just wasted 20 seconds, and now I was in a lot of pain. I tried to do an isometric to help, but I quickly realized that I was just gonna have to bear it. I just had to survive until the finals, where I'd have a bit of time to rest. A second attempt just 30 seconds later hurt even more, but I made it. And with that dunk made, I was in the finals in first place. There's a short break before the finals, and in that time, I had to somehow convince my knee to give me 2 more jumps. So I'm lying on the floor, doing isometrics with Jordan, just trying to hold it together. And that's when I heard I had to go second in the final round.
Oh, fuck. Why am I going?
In this contest format, we were allowed to repeat dunks. It's something I didn't want to do, but given the circumstances, I felt like I had to. I needed a high-scoring dunk that I could hit on the first try, and unfortunately, that's not what happened. On my first attempt, I didn't jump high enough. My body instinctively protected itself, and it felt like a wasted jump. Although it didn't hurt as bad as the last one, it was still frustrating. And on the second attempt, I jumped higher, and it hurt that much more, but I still thought I'd make the dunk until this happened. I just stood there on one leg, staring at the hoop. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was screwed. Everyone in the crowd knew I was hurting, and you could feel the energy in the room shift.
Hey, pick your head up. Pick your head up.
So, this was it. One final attempt. If I missed this, it's over. All my sacrifice would be for nothing, and at this point, I was already looking at weeks of rehab. People were nervous, asking if I could even continue, but I decided to go for it. The pain on this jump was, by far, the worst I've ever felt. I felt like I froze midair. It was a searing, white-hot shock, and I could feel the ball slipping from my grip, and for a split second I thought, it's gone. But in that same split second, I felt my hand readjust. I put my hand right back underneath the ball, and I just punched it.
Come on! Yes! Let's go, man! The knee cooker. Fuck, that hurts.
But the contest isn't over. This was only my first of 2 required dunks for the finals. At this point, I haven't watched a single competitor. My world had shrunk to the floor, my knee, and the voices of my friends around me. The contest continued in the background as I lay on the floor, staring at the ceiling. But then I hear the announcer say this.
I don't know how that low rim. I think I could first try it.
Where in the order are you? Like halfway or?
It's fucking second. They called my name while I was doing an ISO.
Oh, it's your turn now, right?
Is it my turn?
No, I don't think it is.
I had no idea it was my turn again. I froze for a second before giving a thumbs up. The atmosphere in the room felt excited, yet uneasy. I knew a 1-foot jump was impossible. A 2-foot jump with an approach, I wasn't confident in that either. The only option I felt I had was a standing jump to put the least amount of force on my knee, but it still had to be a good enough dunk to win. So I decided on a standing 180 windmill. I've only made that dunk 4 times in my life. It was a massive risk, but I felt it was my only option. The world went silent, I couldn't hear the crowd, I only had one thought going through my mind.
Just like I fucking practiced.
And I jumped. Another shot of pain. This time, I didn't feel like I got high enough, while my body continued through the motion on its own. But then, as I turned in the air, I saw the rim and I knew. I've seen this view before. This is the view I have when I make this dunk.
He pulled that out the depths of his backside.
I still don't know how to describe the feeling, the physical pain, the mental relief. The amount of adrenaline running through my system would probably be lethal to a small child. But I knew I hadn't torn anything, and in that moment, I realized it was all worth it. Even if I didn't win, I had no regrets. I gave it everything. My friends helped me to a chair and propped my leg up. I sat and watched the last few dunkers, with friends coming up to check on me. And eventually, it was time to announce the scores.
In third place, we had Jason with a score of 64.5. In second place, we had a score of 64.8 belonging to Ethan. And our first place, winning the opportunity to go to FIBA to come against this man, Finn Addy. And doesn't look like he'll be able to dunk with the pros tonight, because he gave it his all. Ben Hopkins, you have just winning the opportunity to go to FIBA. Congratulations, with a score of 79.8.
It was the greatest moment of my life. I don't think what I did was smart. It was reckless, and I made a lot of mistakes. But sometimes the biggest risks lead to the greatest rewards. Thanks for watching.